Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. How's it going, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday. There's a new release of Unreal Engine. Final release. Finished release.
Pausing 4 laps, foo foo foo.
How's it going, Aya? Welcome, welcome. Only for the lads. I guess not only for that, but you're pausing for the lads specifically. How nice of you. Today, PCG stable, let's go. Was that Tita? I don't know. It's random. Let's welcome in Carlos. Also, I don't know if PCG is stable. PCG is just out of saying beta. It's not like previous PCG wasn't stable. I've been using it for a while. Really fine. Only main difference is they added a couple of changes or a couple of new things and then released. Hey Penny, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, out of beta. But it's still not on by default. Oh my god, I already noticed something. We're gonna test out two things today, at the least. I wanna try out the AI one more time. Just do a quick test to see if it's any different. I doubt it, but I'm just gonna test. And then I want to try out the new BCG selection, like mode for drawing or something like that. Hey, it's Kronak, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Was it good? Debatable. You can always rewind. You always just rewind the stream. If you really want to hear it. Hey, Ripping Sticks, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Lego my ego. So first thing I see immediately is well, if I do this, ask AI. The button in the bottom right. I just want to see if it tells me anything different compared to normal. Compared to, not normal, compared to what it was when it was in preview. So I'm going to do a quick test. I'm making a, I want to make a fence using PCG. How do I do that? So enabling, okay, it's exactly the same. It's freaking enabling geometry script interop. Now all those people that were like, you can't judge it, it's preview, it's not meant to be released. Now what is your excuse? Now, for all the shit talking that people did for me, now what's your excuse? Now it's released. Now it's oh, it's experimental. Always gonna be an excuse. Hey, Troll, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, no worries. Welcome in, Leo. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You found a solution to damaging gas? I would hope that is just built into gas and you just need to solve a solution. Oh, can you? Oh, yeah. I think the audio. Really? Oh, yeah. I think it's just the music thing on the starting soon screen. So only I hear it. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Which is fine because it's starting soon. Let's take a look. Just scroll down real quick. Right-click content browser and go to Blueprint class. Blueprint class. Choose actor and name it spline. Add component, spline component, PCG component. Okay, no, that's correct. Create a graph asset, advanced, advanced. See, create advanced asset is still not a thing. It's still not a thing. Are you feeling with? I just wanted to see if it's any different compared to the preview because people were like, "Oh, it's too early." They were giving me shit for it. And I want to see. Is it actually any different? Doesn't seem like it's very different. So this is wrong. Okay. Add get spline data. Correct. In the grammar, add a string parameter called grammar. Set initial string to something a star. And then get spline data output to add attribute node to configure. Okay, we're adding grammar. Set accept incomplete subdivision. So this is better. To be fair, it is better. Okay, so wait a second. Can I get split output to add attribute node and configure output target to grammar? Use the grammar parameter as input. Set accept accept incomplete subdivision where? We've missed a step here. We missed a node. We've missed a node. Unless it's talking about setting this up, but it already had me set it up to just a start here. Assign the PCG function asset to the PCG component. This has so many nodes missing. This has so many nodes missing. It started out okay, like better, but like it's just like, okay, plug in the attribute node and then you're done. And then somehow you get to here and somehow you're done. You just drag it out into the world. It's missing a lot of steps. Actually, before that, let me just say, I want to see what happens when I just say advanced asset is not a thing, or create advanced asset is not a thing. Right? It's not like something was added. There's no create advanced asset that I'm seeing here, right? No, I don't see any create advanced asset. Okay. Crazy minds think alike. You don't know about our crushing deer, right? You're insane. Oh, here, now it tells me the correct thing. Now it's fixed. The steps were also not complete for the ECG graph. Let's see if it can correct itself. Okay, build PCG graph nodes. Spline data, add attribute. Add the grammar. Yeah, it's very confused. Basically what it's having me do, right, it's having me do get spline data. Then add attribute. Just pretend like the this is a string. Can I just convert to string? Okay, let me just. Right, let's pretend this is grammar. Right, it's having me do this, and then something, because after this, it doesn't tell me to add any nodes. It just all of a sudden goes to on the add attributes, except incomplete. This is not; these things are not on add attribute, so it is very broken. And then even if they were on here, it's missing everything, including this static mesh spawner, including. So there's so much missing. So basically, is it better? Yes. Is it usable? No. So my original thing was perfectly fine. Hold on. Ooh, look at fancy moving. Hey Kyle, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. To be fair, I did tell you to add a static mesh spawner node. Did it? Did I miss it? Get spline data. I'll move myself again. Add attribute. On the add attribute node, can I have the output of the add attribute node to a static mesh spawner? Okay, you're right. You're right. It was here. I don't like that it's all in step 4. I would want these as separate steps. Personally, that's. But this also doesn't tell me how to set up this. This is so much information missing. Crazy. I want to see if you can do it like a chatbot. Can you give me the steps in the style of Mickey Mouse? Guess I just giggles. Why do you imagine AI sitting there like a Psyduck from Pokemon trying to answer questions? It's not really doing. It's just added some emotes and into the titles, but otherwise it's pretty much the same. As how to cook a grilled Caesar salad. Sure. Can't answer your question. Please rephrase it and try again. Why should okay, hold on. Here's one that's actually unrelated. Should I use BCG or a blueprint to create a forest with a road going through it? That is something that is Unreal related. No, you can't answer that. No, it's still useless. It's still useless. Nothing has changed. Like, I'm sure maybe for programming it's useful, but for like, I'm just going from the BCG point of view. Useless. You're surprised that something like Grok or GPT is supposed to do a decent job? You would have thought those fail a lot too. Grok is awesome. Grok is awesome because it does a good job searching. And that's how he used to get the information, because there's no documentation for anything. He needs to be able to search. So that's the thing. This is very limited, and so it cannot search, in which case it will be automatically fail compared to another model that can search, and search well. You have not found any useful? You wish it would review the engine source and give you replies based on it, not off the docs, because the docs are god-awful? Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's, I was really hopeful originally, so I had really high hopes. They were all crushed. At Unreal, after the question in Unreal? How to cook a grilled Caesar salad in Unreal? How do you cook a grilled Caesar salad in Unreal? Sure, why not? Sorry, immediately. Sorry, can't answer your question. For shits and giggles, okay? For shits and giggles. How do you cook a grilled Caesar salad in Unreal Engine 5? Now, cooking in Unreal Engine 5 Virtual Edition, set up the scene, create a blueprint actor for the grill. On overlap, let us touch his grill, trigger a timeline node. Do you see why I like Grok? Okay? This might not be perfect, but it's good compared to... This is why I use Grok. Because it's good at searching. Also, welcome, Sadarsk. I don't think I said hello. I saw your message, but sorry. Welcome, and how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Got a pair of cute 2-year-olds in the audience tonight. I'm gonna try not to swear. Biggest help the AI would be doing is creating docs based on engine source. The way I personally use AI, and people found it to be horrible when I did it this way, is I like to, because I know the nodes, the general nodes, I just don't know either the math that needs to happen, like the calculations for something, or I need an idea of like, what is the process in general? And then I can like hone in. So for me, asking something like, how do I make a fence is something like I would actually ask for the stuff I do. I just ask, how do I do this? Give me the overall thing. And then from there, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. And then I'm like, okay, maybe this one part of it, I don't understand. I actually need to like figure out. And the rest I will know. And then I can go like, okay, now in there, tell me more about that. So yeah, there you go. Grok can teach you how to create a grilled Caesar salad in Unreal. It's not gonna be a step-by-step, but I'm sure if you ask it to do step-by-step, each section, it will do it. It just gave you the overall, like, there, but point is, it is an experimental. Maybe down the line, it will get better. Can only hope, but that's it. Grok literally searches till it can't find anything. It searches GitHub, Unreal Forums, Slack Overflow, a bunch of... It searches so much. And that's not even the advanced version. That's just the shitty free version. How's GPT compared to Grok? I found GPT in terms of Unreal. Like, I can only speak in terms of like Unreal Engine and blueprints, no C++ or anything like that. ChatGPT hallucinates way more often and tells me the wrong answer way more often because its search is just significantly worse. Because ChatGPT's search is worse than Grok's, it gets the wrong answers and then doesn't understand how to fix those answers. So, is it worth spending money on for Grok? I've never paid for Grok. I don't see a reason to. The free stuff is good enough for anything that I've been doing. I mean, maybe the advanced stuff is better, but for how long it takes, like for me, maybe very, very complicated stuff. But even then, you still can ask it like once a day or a few times a day to use the advanced version. So there's no reason to pay for it unless you feel like you really need it. For just like general questions for Unreal, free is plenty. We really are asking the deep questions about culinary arts. You were under the impression Grok was behind a paywall? Nope. Completely free. It won't specify to give you replies in C++ versus GPT. It legit gave you an answer in every other language except the one you requested for each step. You're like, bro, jeez. Mermaid diagrams are great when you want an LLM to show you what to do in a blueprint or similar. You tell them to write it out in a mermaid diagram, and it's something that will be visible in VS Code. That's cool. Yeah, see, I don't know anything about like the actual coding side, but for blueprints specifically, because there's no documentation for almost anything, it really needs to search because it's just people have figured things out and just find it, like, because you can't find anything searching. ChatGPT, finally enough, is good at chats. Yeah. Yep. So the other thing I want to test out is this BCG section. There's draw spline and draw spline surface. Paint, volume. I want to try this stuff out. And see what the hell this is. Okay, draw sampling distance fit to curve spacing tool. So this is the default one. Let's see what happens when we use this. Cancel. So if I hit accept, okay, so this is interesting. So instead of having a blueprint, okay, a couple of things. First of all, grouping in parameters. Hallelujah. How was this put into a group? How? Wait. Hold on. How is this made into a? I can put it in the minimum and the maximum. There's a tooltip. Oh, category right there. No? Okay, yeah. That's weird. So you can't press enter. If I do testing, test 2. Right, enter doesn't do anything. If I click away, okay, that's just categories now, these 2 lines. Okay, so you can put it in the categories now, finally. That's really nice. Mermaid diagrams work well because they're just normal flow or architecture diagrams, but it's easier to see what it wants you to do instead of it trying to explain it in text. Yeah, some things are just easier as visual, for sure. I can understand that. I don't know if they fixed it in the last few weeks, but asking GPT to show you an emoji of a seahorse is really, really funny. It wrote an entire story. The hell's... What kind of Easter egg is this? Show me an emoji of a seahorse. Here's the seahorse emoji. It's a horse. Just kidding. The real one is actually this one. Wait, no, okay, this one for real. It's just basically, no, just kidding, blah, blah, just kidding. And then in the end, nothing. Now, for shits and giggles, we have to compare. There is an official seahorse emoji in Unicode Standard. It's surprisingly a common Mandela effect where people swear they see one. A tropical fish is often used as stand-in. See, this is actually useful. Like, yeah, very funny. But this is actually useful. Let's be honest with ourselves, though. Not as funny, though. No. If you want data or information, Grok is better.
As are you posing for us?
You do love your Mandela effects, yeah. So, this is interesting. Because that means that I no longer have to create blueprints, theoretically, for this stuff. Unless it requires multiple splines. You'd ask the same and it will try all over again, getting madder at itself. Did you find that out just yourself or just search it online? I'm guessing the latter. YouTube? Makes sense. Hey, Elbow, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's go draw spline. I want to see what happens when I do clear. So this is default. Component name, you can choose the component name. You can tell it to be a close spline or not. Free draw is default, which is nice. Void spacing. Spline name, you can name the spline component. Kind of cool. Raycast rules. You can tell it to spawn, ignore PCG components, turn it on and off. So you can tell it to spawn or not, and you can create your own, I imagine. Allowed classes. Now this is very powerful. This is really nice. Constrained to actor. You can choose specific actor to just draw on that actor. Really nice. And then obviously you could set up the actual drawing. And then get this. Excuse me? Why? Where's my move tool? Oh, it's because I'm not... Okay, so I can't even like, move things at all when I'm in that mode. So it creates a PCG component. For you. I don't know why we have these extra ones there. That's odd, but otherwise it seems okay. My project? No, I need to wait for all the plugins to update. There's a whole video about how there used to be one in ASCII, but it got removed. Reminds me of an article you read where they say ChatGPT gets more accurate if you ask it in a mean way. That's funny if that's accurate. Does it draw spline surface? What I like about this is it does updates in semi-real time. You have to get out of the mode to see the tool, then deselect it, reselect it, which is a little bit of annoying, but it works. So effectively with this, because this is nice. Usually wait for last patch to it. I just wait for my plugins to be updated typically. There's no way to know it's a last patch, right? Unless there's a secret way of telling that this is definitely the last patch of that version. Okay, paint is an interesting one. Paint is something I've wanted for a while. Spawning. Can I just go ahead and clear this? Again, I just want to see what is actually available here. Rotate yaw step size. So it can be like increments of 10 degrees or 45 degrees. Let's do like 90 degrees so you can really see. Minimum point spacing 50. Brush size. We can just increase this. Can we increase this faster? More? So this one doesn't really scatter. It's still drawing like a line. So I'm not sure I guess it is painting, but the size doesn't really matter. It is controlling like how close I can put them. It is rotating them, right? No, it's not. They're all facing the same way. I don't know what this one is. So, I don't know what step size for rotation of the brush. Moving the mouse wheel. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. Moving the mouse wheel up or down will add or subtract from the brush rotation. I mean, I'm scrolling. What? I mean, like, what? This doesn't do anything. I don't fully understand this one. How many versions of 5 do I think before 6? I mean, I hope quite a while. 4 was 27 versions. I would hope, you know, we're gonna get to like 20 plus versions of 5. Otherwise, like, I feel like it's way too soon. It's rotating the brush. Oh, I did not. Oh, thank you. Okay. So this is really nice, I guess, for placing individual things. Like if you want to place some little bit of trees somewhere. The only thing is, what about the scattering? Like if I wanted to spawn a bunch in an area. Spawn actor, spawn. There's a bunch of setup here. We can do random position offsets, which doesn't really make sense considering you're drawing them. But I guess if you don't want to place them in specific location, you just want to do a general one. The one thing that doesn't quite make sense to me is the size, because it seems like it's still following along where I draw. Hey Vinny, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You have to hold control while moving the mouse wheel to resize. Can't remember. Oh, control actually rotates it here. You can hold control and you can do the rotation this way. Oh no, the control doesn't do anything. Just rotation. I'm stupid. Yeah, Alt doesn't do anything. Shift. Oh, you can erase using Shift. So that's nice. You can draw and erase. Shift works. What is the size matter? Right? Like I'd want to scatter it everywhere in that area. I can do behind me, by the way, is a specify radius. So you can just specify the exact radius if you want, which is kind of nice. How's 5.7 PCG side of things so far? I mean, this is nice. Trying to get, like, figure out this paint one. Oh, we're in the place tool. Hold on. If I did the scatter tool, does it matter? Doesn't do anything. Go back to paint. Yeah, it's still right. Size matters, Leo. Natural proof that technique is more important than size in PCG. Because the fact that I'm changing to box or sphere, it doesn't seem like it matters at all. So I'm trying to understand. What is the point? If I go to volume, I can draw out a volume. And again, it can... Now, the interesting thing here is I only see one. Hey, Gonzalo, welcome in. How's it going? Well, let's check out the tree generator. When it was in preview, yes. Back then, you couldn't actually create your own trees, though. I don't know if that's changed. Well, let me actually open up the scatter tool. Get tool data. Why are we doing multiple projections? I guess we're not. So where is it getting the points from? It's from the surface sampler? Scatter tool? There's no extra samplers. So, did they really not include a example graph for these? Also, why is this appearing here? But no other one is. Where's the controlled? Oh, hold on. I might need this one. Might need a landscape. Hey, Lucian, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Let's go check out the landscape. Okay, this one you need a landscape. Okay, got it. So that's why the other one wasn't working either, probably. So let's go to paint now. Paint scatter tool. 10. No. That one still doesn't make sense to me. That one clearly needs something else. Layered place tools? That. Did auto-convert your 5.6 PCG graphs? What do you mean? Auto-convert? This is a empty 5.7 world. There's some updates you can create trees, but starting with presets. So you can't create trees then. You have to modify existing trees. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So what's with this one? If you put a 5.6 graph in 5.7, yeah, if you upgrade, yeah, you'll be fine. I mean, there might be some small changes, but they're not enough has changed in PCG. They should need to worry. Yeah, obviously check your stuff, but that's normal with upgrading versions. Say anything about geometry scripting? No idea. I don't remember anything about geometry scripting. But I wasn't paying super close attention to it. What is the point of this brush? I want to get to the bottom of this damn brush. Like, I refuse to believe that none of these actually work like a brush in this paint mode, where the size of the brush matters. Because I refuse to believe that they created a... Also, by the way, what's the point of paint only having one option? I don't know. Spline and volume makes sense to me. Paint does not. Get tool data. What does this get? Let me just go ahead and use the place tool. So get tool data is how you get the information. Tool tag and then data instance. So this one is set up with paint tool and paint layer. Data instance is paint layer. So paint tool is probably where it puts it. Let me just go ahead and make a copy of this so we can play around with it. So if I change this to be testing, it's not here. It's because I'm still in this mode. Hold on, cancel out of here. Paint. And Real Horizon, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Try by offer racing. You can erase points. Yeah, that works. I got that working, right? So you can, but you draw a line. Shift erases points in the radius, which is nice. But I want to scatter, like I want it to be like a foliage brush where it scatters in the area under like the conditions that I want. Otherwise, the radius only is good for erasing. So what? I don't these are graphs, okay, which makes sense, but how do I get mine to appear here? Tool tag. Does it need a different tag as well? I can plug it in here, but that... And then it goes to place tool. Why does it go to place tool? Where is these controlled? Have you tried asking nicely? No. You do all such complicated and complex stuff in a real, but in APG, that's where you draw the line. Docs say it shows graphs with the paint tool tag. Where are these docs? Right. What if I leave and open the thing again? No. So this is not where it is. Category editor mode tool. B. I want to know where it's controlled. Tool data. Aha. Found it. So it's its own section here. Testing tool. Is that where it is? Aha! We found it. Okay. Okay. That's where it is. So compatible tool tags. Okay, this is where we can specify. Can we make our own? Nice, Leo. Congrats. No, making your own doesn't work. So if I put in volume here, that doesn't do it. Why can't this be like a drop down? Is it volume tool? See, now I have to guess. Yes. and then its spline tool. Okay. Okay. So that's how we get it on all of these locations. Cool. Ba, 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 ba. This just gets the information that was created effectively. So you can have multiple layers of drawings. You can draw like in one and then two and then another, which is kind of cool, I guess. But so this is so under paint is this layered place tool and the place tool. It's under paint. So art. I want to know. I want to understand. I want to understand why. Like, this is still good, right? If I made this 2000 spacing, I made the size this. Well, the size, I guess, and the size of the brush again doesn't matter. So I imagine then these points will be 2000 apart. No, they're not. The minimum amount of distance to pass before drawing another point while dragging the mouse. Okay, so it's literally during the dragging the mouse, not
Ads are
always.
Here. Pausing for ads.
Thank you, Demon Overlords. The voice of a youngling is telling you that ads are coming. How cute. Now you're cooking with gas? Good. Oh, these are all absolute. And these are random. I do appreciate the fact that they just made these like setups. I should point out. I do really appreciate that. But the brush. What? My only guess is it's bugged. Because otherwise, the only difference between it and the spline is that you just don't get a spline. You don't get splines then. But, like, okay. But why call it paint? Why call it? Yeah. Apply PCG points with a brush. What are we missing here? Spawning is not it, because that just changes. I can just make it all, you know, a cube. Spawning actors and all that doesn't matter. It's not the offsets. It's not the random offsets. That's the one to do it either. The hell? Show display painted points wireframe bounds. Do I want to know why they're absolutely massive? Oh, this is the distance where it's checking if it is within that range. So once I make it outside the box, it places another one. Yeah, that's what that is. So, but it's a square. Okay, that's good to know. So... Oh, but no, but it's still working as a sphere. It's just displaying a square. That's the bounds of the entire thing. Okay. I can reset the entire thing. That's kind of nice. We did the layer. Oh, I want to try something. If I did the layered one, and then I did a cube, and then change it to layer 1, and layer 1 I did a sphere. Yeah, so you can just spawn multiple things. But you can't spawn multiple things at the same time. So if I want more cubes, I can go to layer 0. If I want spheres, I'll go to layer 1. Is that a joke? Someone should make a battle enhancement acceleration node system called Beans for short, using gas. I mean, it fits together. I mean, look, Leo, you're the one who's talking about gas all the time. We know the best way to make gas is beans. In fact, a few weeks ago, I made a slight tangent story. A few weeks ago, it might have been a month ago at this point, I remember, I decided I wanted to just make my own beans. And for the first time, so I bought some just regular pinto beans, and I threw them into my instance pot, and I was like, let's throw the whole bag in, might as well. I didn't realize they expand that much. Like, I figured they expand, but I didn't know how much they expand. So you don't need to in the instant pot if you do it for long enough. But that was, at least that's what the recipe said. The point is, I had beans every day for a good week. My poor asshole was sore at the end of that week. Oh yeah, Twitch does have tits. TMI. I wasn't actually serious. Or was I? Okay, so the layered thing is cool. If I add another one, yeah, it all gets updated. But the brush, listen, shit happens. Well, yeah, every time you go to the bathroom, typically shit happens. Well, not every time, but usually typically there. If the ceramic throne is now in shatters, it was the good kind. So the interesting thing here is if you change tools, as long as it will remember your drawing until you hit accept or cancel at it, which is kind of cool. And if your layer here is the same, then it will remember the entire drawing. Yeah, pretty cool. But again, what's the trick to this? Where's Adrian when you need him? And I know he's off work, and he's not even, that's why I'm not even bothering asking in the Discord with him. Because I know he's off work. He's not going to be checking that. Or I would ask him. Adrian is a PCG dev. Just for anyone that doesn't know. Have a good night, Aya. Thanks for stopping by. I can, like, it's cool that I can like draw in my like my own stuff and place them kind of where I want, but I'm determined to find this, damn it, for now. Pretty soon I won't be. If false will erase points on all pain data instances. Oh, versus selected. What you know? No. No, Leo, it's not. Because even when I click accept, right, this is in the world. But I can't modify this now. I can draw another one. But the shit just happened. I think he just broke. I don't know what happened here. Why this just all of a sudden appeared. Or maybe it was... maybe it was hidden and then appeared? I don't know. I know I drew it earlier, but it felt like it just jumped out. Maybe ask AI for help? I mean, that might not be terrible. Is there any documentation that they released with this? Spline. No, this doesn't show me anything. PCG. I can't even search PCG mode. Oh, because it's PCG editor mode. Okay, is this? Can I make this bigger? Hold on. No, okay, so they're not even. So they're not even showing the brush one here. They're showing just the spline one. If you're using 5% preview, your PCG editor mode settings might not have the default setup. If your PCG editor mode window does not open and such as an error. Okay, no, that's different. Okay, I was like. I was excited about maybe that I missed something, and that's why it's not working. No, they're using the spline line draw, and I guess, yeah, it is the splines, the spline surface one. That's what this is. Which is nice. Like, they're cool. I would just... Okay, let me... You know what? Let's... Hey, look, it no longer... It says 1.0 now and doesn't say beta. 9.8 assemblies interop? What is this? Where was the mention of this at any point? Editor preferences. There's a full separate doc for PCG editor mode, but YouTube removed your link to it earlier. It's not amazing, shocker, but it's a good. Can you post it in the Discord, or tell me how to what it's going to Google to find it? Because I searched and this is what came up. No surprise. PCG editor mode. Okay, that's not what I searched, so let's try that. PCG editor mode. First video is mine about art directing PCG. Okay, this is okay, it's not. Yeah, mine's not getting me the documentation. Does yours look like this? Because the first link? No, this is just the one from the roadmap. This is not documentation. Oh, here. God, go on. Google used to be so good at searching. What happened? The paint tool provides a way for you to paint on the world based on collisions or on selected actor and similar to the foliage mode. This creates points at the locations where the raycasts hit physical objects. You can also remove points when holding shift. That's it. Hey, Sword. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Glad you liked it. Thank you. God. They need someone new to write documentation. They're missing so much information. You can't just say it allows you to do this. Show how. What is the expected result? Please. For the love of God. Yes. I know I want a lot. And I hate documentation, but here I am begging for it. I mean, I guess the only reason to... change the brush size, I guess, is one, to see it better, and two, for erasing. Let me try. Do I have some geo I can grab? Okay, so let's just paint on this. Right, so right, like this is nice. Again, like all the tools are nice, but I wanted these even say it's like the foliage brush, but it's not. It's not like the foliage brush. If we go into foliage, is there a default foliage I can? No. There is no default foliage. But I can make one. This is what I want. This is what I want from that PCG, from that brush. Is when you draw it, when you paint it out, it actually gets painted out. If I do like 10x density, let's lower that because I just raised it. Right, this is what I want from this tool. Right there. And then every new paint still looks at the all points, not just the one from the current brush. Right? I just cannot make them denser than my value. This is what I was hoping, but this is not what we got. Right? I can just make it bigger and just make a big area. So it seems like paint itself is a little bit of a disappointment. It's still good, but okay, let me try. If I did paint, All right, I'll say paint me the mushroom. So I can just use it as like a click place kind of thing. So what we could try doing is global transforms. Let's do 10x scale. And then we'll do a random transform. Between 1 and 2. Random 360 degrees. Actually, don't rotate it because I want to do a test. So we can do click to place. We can rotate it. And we can have it all be the same way, or we can have it randomly rotated. So it's still, this is still good, but I wouldn't call this painting. I call it clicking. I would call it clicking, but you would still, the art direct thing for my video, you would still need to do, because that hasn't gone away. This is awesome. By the way, no, even though I'm criticizing this, I think this is awesome. I'm criticizing it because I want it to be good. Not because I think it's garbage. Takes a moment to appear, and then I can hold shift and then erase it very easily. So if I make a mistake, I just shift click basically. So that is nice. So effectively, right? Effectively, we no longer need to create blueprints for just if you want a spline, or if you want manual placement of things using BCG. Problem is you can't edit it. And this is one of those things that might be better with almost geometry scripting, not geometry scripting, scriptable tools. The only problem is there's no connection where you can just take the set those values. What I would love is to be able to send the data to this or whatever it is from scriptable tools, because then you could also edit existing ones, because this doesn't let you edit existing ones. How is it if we do a random offset? If I did a random offset that's pretty high, it's right, this will ignore the projection effectively, right? Or will it? I think it's actually still projecting. No, it is not. Okay, I did think it would, but want to check. Turn off uniformity, all fine. But if we did, hold on, if we did have the offset, no, I didn't. Okay, undo does not work with this thing. That is unfortunate. Undo does not work. Be careful. What I wanted to see is if we were to offset this randomly. I'm assuming that. And what if we also offset it into the air? I'm assuming I can still erase them. Oh, but I can't erase them. Ooh, hold on. Ugh. Okay, so for anyone that didn't quite catch that, let me explain what just happened. I don't like that. I understand why, but I don't like it. So if I was to place a bunch of points here, right? They're just right now randomly offsetting between -1000 to 1000. But if I wanted to remove a point, let's say I want to remove this one now, I don't click underneath it. I have to know and remember where the original point that I placed was. So if I click here, right, and this mushroom appeared, I have to erase it from here. Not where the mushroom is now. So when using this method, random transforms are dangerous. Like if you're thinking, oh, I'll scatter some trees or something like that, it might be a little difficult to erase specific trees or something like that if you want to like control it. Obviously, if your offset isn't that much, you know, it's not gonna be a problem, but that is important to know. Right. Can't erase this mushroom. I do not know where it was. Oh, I erased that one. Okay. It is nice that we can draw, or we can place them anyway. So we have still is it gonna say pausing for ads? I think it's tired. Doesn't want to say it. Pausing for ads. I'll say it. I wonder if it randomized to a voice that it couldn't do or something. Almost as good. Effectively, if you wanted to paint it, it would be better to basically use a draw spline. What is the difference here? No, I can't control it. So there's the area tool, and under draw spline, I cannot select the area tool. But why? Because let's go to the area tool here. Let me make a copy of it. And then I'll just make this a testing one. So on this one, It's getting the spline data from self because it's just using the information from what is? Oh, right. They haven't fixed this weird thing. Oh, subtype polyline. And then it turns into a spline. Why is this not a spline? Okay, doesn't matter. What I want to do though here is under tool data. I'm just going to rename this area tool testing. And I'm going to add this to, I think, spline, the spline tool, I think what it's probably called. Yeah, area tool testing, area tool testing. Okay. So what I want to see real quick is using this draw spline surface, right? We get an interior sampling basically. If I go to draw spline, area tool testing also, and I just changed the to a closed spline, it's exactly the same thing. What is the point of this? I can already click closed spline here. My only guess is that if you want it to only work in one and not the other, like it's specifically designed for a closed surface, you can put it in that category, I guess. But in terms of the tool itself, it is exactly the same thing. The only difference here is this is checked effectively on by default and doesn't have an option to have it unchecked. All right, we have draw mode, minimum point spacing, and spline name. Here we have minimum point spacing. Yeah, we just don't have the closed loop because it's guaranteed to be closed. Otherwise, exactly the same. Okay, that's fine. It allows you to put in to different categories. So the categories are spline surface tool and spline tool. Which, okay, so they're, thankfully they are, like, they make sense, right? It's spline, so it's spline tool. Spline surface tool. Paint tool. Volume tool, right? All checks out. I believe I cannot do multiple. So if I start drawing again, it is going to be just one. Let me check out the alternative. Hold on. I want to see the alternative. Also, I didn't hit accept. Why is this still here? I didn't accept in this one. Hold on. Back up a second. If I draw this... Oh, it disappeared. Hit escape. And let's get out of this mode, I guess. Aha. But this is a ghost. This is not actually here. Because if we were to go to here and click, no, it's staying. Why did it paste it? Wait, what is this one? Guys, I'm finding a few bugs. There's a few bugs. Just a few. It's okay. It's okay, you know? What I wanted to see, though, is if I give myself a blueprint actor, because the whole drawing thing you could do before, just not with all the parameters. But what I want to know is if I add myself I don't need a spline. I'll just need the PCG component. And then I'll throw in the area testing one. Right. So what we can do is go to the modeling instead, draw spline, create blueprint, plug in our blueprint, it'll draw a spline in 0. Free draw. Right, it's not going to automatically display it, but there it is. So what I want to see here is if I did draw spline again. This is still a bug that I haven't fixed clearly, or it just clears the loop setting for some reason every time. If I draw this, and then I type in 1, okay, so it continues. Because it's a loop. If it wasn't a loop, okay, it continues. I thought maybe with this one, you could do it, but you can't do multiple. Fair enough. I think you would need to do... Oh yeah, this is definitely... I'm definitely going over this on Sunday's video. Yeah. For sure. 100%. Yeah. 100%. So that doesn't solve the problem either. Okay. Fair enough. I do like the volume. The one thing I don't like is the fact that it's... What in the world? What just happened? What is going on? What is going on? You see this? What? Why is he doing what is... Hold on, let me try that again. Why is it doing what it's doing? What is it? It's forcing it to stay up above ground. That's what it's doing. If I pull it up far enough where it would be put onto the ground, it's forcing it above. So... Raycast. Turn off landscape. But don't, that wouldn't work either, right? Because I do want it to project onto the landscape. I just don't want it to be above the... guaranteed to be above the landscape. The problem with this is it's... like I can move it down afterwards, I guess. Yeah, I can move it down afterwards. What I was trying to do is, if I was to start dragging from down here, right? if I start from down here at the bottom of this hill, and I want to go from the bottom of this hill over here, it's staying there. So I guess it's... What is the logic for this? What is the logic? Oh, you know what? I think I understand what's going on. I think I understand. If I was to put this point, first point right here, right in the shadow, and then draw it out. Okay, well, it is not on the shadow where I clicked. I clicked here. One right here. That's not where I'm dragging. That is a problem. It's not a huge problem, but that is a problem. So I think what's happening is as you draw up, it is scaling it from the center, but it's trying to keep the bottom point where it was originally. And so at every certain amount of distance, it snaps it up to make it so the bottom is where the bottom is. I feel like it wouldn't be too much trouble to have a PCG component have the option of having just a bottom pivot instead of a center pivot. I don't think it would be the craziest thing in the world, but I guess that's their workaround. I don't know why it's so snappy the way it is, but I don't like this. This dragging is very... Yeah, that's very bad. Once you let go and just do the verticality, it's fine. Right? And it's every certain amount of distance. Can we control that distance? Oh, hold on. Oh, probability of filling. Okay, so it has a probability chance, which I appreciate. So we can do spawn a cube. Where's my graph? Where's my cubes? Are they too small? Global transform? No. 100%? Where's the stuff? I feel like this one's a little broken. Accept? It's something there. What if we did it one more time? Cube. Oh, this one is... Why is it... They really should have made one of these templates for, like, the volume. Because otherwise... Like, the spline is just better for this. like they really should have showed like, okay, here's one example, right? Because they did a good job with the spline ones. Like here's the use the spline, works great. It would be great if they had one that was set up for a volume specifically. They just spawn the same thing just all over. Because this is not so much a volume, but more just of a surface, which we have under spline. Yeah, but that makes sense why I wasn't seeing anything. Ooh, we can do fixed count. And that's just out of the remaining ones. How many do we see? That's nice. This is gonna make my tutorials a lot easier, I will say. Like this whole section. Because no longer will I need to like create BCG, create blueprints just to spawn things. But I imagine it's not going to be too great. Let's do a quick volume one. Let's create one. Let's just create a BCG graph. Is there a template here for forest? No. Volume test. So what was it called? Get tool data. Tag. I'll just call this tool tag, and data instance. I'll call it a data instance. Just so like when we see it, we know that is each one. In tool data display name, this is going to be our volume test, and the tooltip. This is a test. Compatible. This really should have been like an enum drop down. Volume tool. And the actor spawn by default will be actor, which is fine. New actor label. If we check it, keep it on none. So the interesting thing here. Oh, this one was spline data, that's why. So we can do a volume sampler, I imagine. And then we can just do a select points. And then right click. Wait. Was there no create? New float parameter. Ratio. Yep. At least that's still much faster. We'll plug that in. We can change that to 0.1 by default. It's fine. And then static mesh spawner. Actually, let's do a new. Can I do a static mesh? No, I can't make a parameter that's just static mesh type. Let's just name this to mesh. I do really appreciate the colors. add attributes. That's the one we want. We want to add this. I'll put this to mesh. And then just put a cube here. By default, this will be attribute mesh. Okay. So now if we go to volume, we don't see it. Why don't we see it? Volume tool. Is it not a volume tool? What is it called? It is a volume tool. Oh, I didn't turn on its preset. That is important, right? Is that why? Ah, okay. You have to turn on its preset. Okay, so there's our volume test. Right, there's our ratio and mesh that we can override. And now if we draw this out, hold on, data instance none. What's the difference? Let's take a look. New actor label. I don't think that's what the problem is. We have data instance tool tag. We have that. Oh, hold on. We don't want to use this, do we? We want to use this. Because we're not actually using the drawing stuff. We're not getting the points that we're drawing. We're creating an actor with a volume and we're reading the volume. So now we can just really quickly just draw that out. Okay. And we don't like this, we just ignore it and we draw another one. Now, if I'm... see, the thing is, if I'm happy with it, I cannot move it now. Can I move it this way? Okay. So, behind me, right, is the transforms here. I cannot move this. Q, W, E, R, right, all the movement controls. You don't see them. They're invisible. But I can move them after, if I want to have this in the ground, for example, and see what it looks like there. So these work. If I want to, like, rotate this at a different angle. Oh, that's actually an interesting thing. You cannot draw the volume on a different axis. Right? Yeah, because this is just aligned. Doesn't matter which way I rotate. That is just aligned. Mark transient because the tool system will either fill this with a default or take the graph from the selected actor. I haven't fully grasped the data instance yet, but that's fine. That's unfortunate. It's nice that I can rotate it here at least. But if I wanted it to fit exactly in a certain area in a different angle, I can't. That is unfortunate. What is the new actor label? Let's find out. And accept. Ah, the new actor label is the name it gives it. That's what that is. And the... Wait, it didn't attach it to an actor on this one. It's just a volume. Why? Why did this one... Go back to this. And then go back to this. Why is this one also... This is also just a PCG volume. New actor label. Wait. PCG scatter tool actor. So they're just volumes. How would I will get it to attach to a... I want it to get it to attach now. Like, what if I wanted it actually attached to a blueprint actor? Or an actor type?
As are here pausing for us. I wonder if it's just the tool. I wonder if it's just the fact that it's volume that it doesn't do it. I'm gonna give it an option of being drawn by something else. It won't work, but I want to see if it'll put it underneath an actor. It probably will, because the spline cannot exist with nothing there. And neither can regular points. I hope that's not... I hope that's possible to put it underneath an actor, even with using volumes. I don't like that you can't have multiple, I will say. I want to be able to draw multiple. Multiple splines under one, multiple volumes especially under one. So the way I like to use volumes a lot of times is as a bounds to a large point grid. I might be weird on this one, but what I like to do is create a points grid, so that way it's perfectly evenly spaced across way too large of an area, but then I tell it to only keep the points within bounds. So if I do a create points grid, right, what you can do is, right, change this to be like way too 50,000, way too big. But you just call points outside the volume. If you have this on, you're only spawning in what's inside of that area you want. And so what happens is I can then go in on top of it and be like, okay, and add volumes as components, and it'd be like, I only want these points here, and then I want here, and then I want here. And what it guarantees me is that all of these points between all of these are on the same grid. So if I ever wanted to connect and add another one, it would still all connect, right? And be perfectly there. So I've used this quite a bit, like this method. And you cannot do this with this one. I mean, you could. No, I guess you couldn't if it doesn't put it underneath an actor. Over 9,000. Wait, what is over 9,000? Let's go to our volume test, and we'll add a spline tool. Doesn't really matter because we just need to test one of them. There's our volume test, right? I don't want. Why did? Okay, odd. Draw spline. Volume test. Obviously, this is not going to do anything. But if I hit accept, then there's our spline underneath the actor tag or actor type. But it doesn't do that for volume. Why is volume grayed out? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. If I have this selected and I go draw spline, so you can overwrite it. Is that it? If I was to rename this to test, and then I go to draw spline, accept, so I can override based on the type it is. I can overwrite what it is. I cannot modify it and add another, but I can do that. I wonder what I could do. Oh, here's a little interesting test. I'm going to duplicate the component. The name is reserved for engine use. Okay, fine. My spline. Okay. And then I'll do another draw spline. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we have multiple. So if we want to have multiple, we can this way by duplicating it, and it will override the original one again. Hey, Loco, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. We cannot do that on the volume, though. We cannot do that on the volume. Why? Why did they make it like this?
I can change the volume to be something else. So that is one thing you could do. So this, but that's just changing the PCG graph. That is not very interesting. You'll have to just change the PCG graph. Yeah, you can redraw it again. I really wanted to attach to an actor. Any way to force it? Probably not. Even with this, probably not. Hey, Mystic Archmage, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Is there any advantage to using the new PCG volume maker tool versus just making a new PCG graph in the content browser? Based on how janky it is drawing it out, probably not. It would be nicer with this if it placed it underneath a blueprint automatically, like it does for the others. But for some reason, the volume one doesn't place it underneath a blueprint actor. In fact, that's not even an option here. If I go here, hold on a second. Where's the... Let me just go ahead and delete my my thing from here. Can I not delete? There we go. Because I just modified one of the original ones. Back's in there. So I cannot specify the actor on these either, right? So it's just whatever I've specified. So for example, if we used a area tool testing, and here I could specify instead of an actor, put it underneath a, what do we put underneath? Pawn. I need to make sure I don't have anything selected. The heck? Area tool testing. I love how it does that. So now it's the class pawn. All right, so we can change the actor, so, and it follows what's here. But it just doesn't do it for volumes. So two kind of disappointing things. Volumes don't get placed underneath an actor, which means we cannot have this drawn out, duplicate it, and do the same trick to have multiple volumes. And paint is not like foliage paint, despite them saying it in their documentation. Here it says paint similar to foliage mode. It's not. Unless something is broken. What I could do is
Hold on. Testing. Don't save that. Save those two. What I could do is try making a new project in case this one that I started in preview is broken. So yeah, let me do that real quick. That might not be terrible. Just to double check that that's not the reason why the paint is not behaving the way I want. It asked me to install some stuff when I tried to launch it, just like that. From, I don't know what it was, Microsoft stuff. So we'll see. Is it opening? It's opening. Give it a moment. This should be quick though. Guys, remember how I said this was gonna be a place for advertising? This is my projects that's tiny up top. And this is all the advertising. What did I say? What did I say when I saw that? Like, don't lie, no, this is not for us. This is for you to advertise. How do I new project? Then once we click new project, then we get the original screen. Lovely. Blank. That's great. My project, it's fine. Let's see. Hamlet, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you for using your Prime. I really appreciate it. You subscribe before you follow the channel. That's funny. I gotta have priorities. Bro said, I'm paying to watch the free content. He's not paying to watch the free content. He's watching the free content. He's just also paying to support, which I appreciate. And you get some emotes. It's not many emotes, but you get some emotes. And no ads. That's also kind of a big one. Hype. It's saying in sweet time compiling shaders. Considering I already had 5.7 project open, hopefully this will... I will find out that those problems go away. There's a chance. If it doesn't, though, I'll be sad. It'll be what I expect, but I'll be sad. I will forever have to tell people to go and enable PCG.
But at least now it doesn't give you a pop-up, you know, it's one less click. Should I be happy about that one less click? Okay. ECG. Paint. I don't know why you start out all the way out there now, to be honest. Okay, now it's there. So, nope. Works exactly the same. The size does not matter. If you, I guess, if you change your minimum point spacing to like, let's say 1,000, and then you change your brush under advanced here to be 1,000. Whenever you get to the edge, you'll know you'll place a point. Right? You can use it as a little notifier that's like, okay, here it's about to place a point. Otherwise, yeah. It's not the same. And also, we're gonna just double check the volume one. Yeah, it does not put it underneath an actor. I'm gonna flag that probably tomorrow. And maybe I can hope that these things get changed in 5.7.1. But I definitely want volume to be underneath an actor as an option. And I want paint to work the way I think it should. Let's go back to the other project though. Physically, it was fine. Okay. So that was all. That all made sense. Let's see here if there was anything interesting in terms of just like the tools themselves. Doesn't seem like there's anything crazy here. The only thing crazy here is this. My OCD wants me to make this nice and straight, and then do one of these. Right? It wants me to do this. Oh, right, but you can't do that in PCG. God. God damn it. Why? I know why, but why? So this is the non-uniform, and this is the uniform. Oh, sorry. Global versus random. Yeah, all checks out. And world rate hit query. Hold on a second. How does this say centimeters there?
What type is this? Float. How is there centimeters in that window? It says here type, it's a type float. I want to know that. That I want to know that one. Finally, anti-American update. Hey, Blue Sticker, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. But it is distance. The funny thing is, Unreal is always just has been using UU for units. When did it actually start saying centimeters? Forever for you? Really? I've not been paying attention, but I want to know how this float has this tag centimeters, and how do you remove or add it? Because that's just good to know for me. Also, this one has a percentage sign. Guys, how do you do this? This is hold on, we'll use the new AI that will not tell me the answer. In a float attribute in PCG, how do you add a percent or centimeter after the value? It's not project settings, it can't be global, because these are two float variables that have different things. Convert the float to a formatted string and concrecate the unit. Nope. That is not at all what I asked. Okay, yep, still useless. Genuinely, I genuinely want to know how this is done. Is there any other ones here that are like that? Imagine it's just the other floats are just floats. No, changing it to a float doesn't change that centimeter. Hold on, where's one of my tests? Right? This one doesn't have centimeter. I can't type in centimeter. What black magic is this? what black magic did they use on this? Is it here? Oh my god, I found it. Guys, I found it. I found the black magic. That's cool. You just have a units thing and then you just type it in and then it just appears after. So you can do like candies. From little children. And then, what? Where'd it go?
Wait, can we not do candies from little children? Is that not allowed? We can't take candies from little children? I want 100 candies from little children. It's right there. Hold on. Is it because there's spaces? No. Is there a length here? If I did just candies. Are there only specific things allowed? And these just won't, but I have to type it in a string and hope? M gives me, yep. So if I did a hunt, so if I did, can I do like, okay, so basically I can convert things. Like I could type in FT and it will convert feet to centimeters, which is kind of nice. Hey, to the man, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. But it will in the end still specifically say centimeters, which means I can type, can I type in 500 FT or 5,000 FT? So it will convert for me. So that is nice. So this is a distance thing. Can I type in like degrees? I can. And it has a degree icon. So there are specific ones. Why do we have to type it in? Why can't we just have a drop down? This is a nice feature. I like this. But I think implementing it as a string that you now have to remember and guess at what kind of things are even available. I don't like the implementation.
Ads arrive, posez une forade.
You need to go back to C++ to implement some things? Yeah. Welcome to gas. But things are working? What do you need to go back to C++ to implement, out of curiosity? What has gas not exposed for you? Yeah, it's all strings. All strings. Category should be a drop down and have a string like it does for blueprints. This should give you like specific things. Can I type in distance? Would that work? No. But I can type in, what if I type in like 300M? Oh, I can't do that unless I have units here as whatever it is. Then I can do 300 space M and then it'll convert. The conversion thing is nice. I kind of want to test that on a random blueprint though. It's not exposing, it's more adding and more attributes to facilitate more gameplay stuff in the future. I see. So you just want all the things, even if you don't need them right now. I see. Okay, if I make this float, is there a thing in blueprints for this? I don't think so, right? No. Oh no, units, right? So there's all your units. This is new, right? I'm not crazy. I would not put it past me to not notice a units thing here. But I think this is new. See, this one says KM. Meters. This one actually gives you the correct ones. Guess where we saw this before? We could do an easy test. Easy test. I'll open my testing 5.6 level. It's fine, Leo. It's late. 5.6 does have units. Hey, Revolutionary. Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't put it past me that I just didn't notice. See, it doesn't have it here. So if I change it to float, float does. Never noticed. I think it's because it's not for everything. It's only for specific types of variables. Interesting. Integers have bit mask. Yeah, never noticed this. Cool. And I guess now that option is available in for PCG. I'm all for that, honestly. I've seen like be able to convert measurements or distances and all that kind of stuff between each other. It's quite nice. Oh, hold on. One thing I want to say there real quick. Units. Hold on. Micrometers, millimeters, centimeters, meters, inches, feet, yards, miles. Okay, okay, it's fine. It has the freedom units. We're good. Whew. We can work with things like feet and inches. Fantastic. All the other one has is meters, 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 meters. See, they all have meters. Too many meters. Miles per hour. Can I convert this? If I type in 500 km/h. Huh? I do like the auto conversion. I do like the conversion. I will say. That as long as it's the right type of thing, then you can convert. So if we did days and then did, I don't know, 1.73 years. Yeah. Look, I know this is not new in 5.7, but look, this is the first time I've seen this, and this is cool. Damn it. Okay, but back to the PCG. This doesn't seem like it has anything like crazy. The only really new node that it seems like there is this get tool data, which is for specifically for paint. Really. Did you like the conversion that you never knew? Well, you're welcome for me teaching you. It's not very often that you're probably gonna need it, right? You're probably just gonna set it and then just be fine. But there are times when you might get something in, if you're working between games and film, you might get things that are meters when you're working in centimeters, or you might get something that's in decimeters, which is 10 centimeters. Is that what it's called? Decimeters? Or it's 10 centimeter units. So yeah, in those scenarios, it might it'll be good to convert. Actually, is that even a thing? Micrometers, millimeters, centimeters. No, it is not. Yeah. Screw you, Maya people that go by a factor of 10. Yeah, they don't. It doesn't exist. If you guys don't know, a lot of VFX, for whatever reason, works in a factor of 10, basically. They don't work in centimeters or in meters. Instead of, right, centimeters to meters is 100x. They work in 10x. Don't ask me why. I'm just happily I don't have to do that. Anything interesting here that they did? So here it changes what it is. What is the gather node? I still don't understand fully. Gathers multiple data in a single collection, can also be used in order execution through the dependency only pin. What is, I guess gather is just a merge points that is not specifically for points. Is that it? Hey Shastra, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You go on vacay tomorrow, 5/7 just releases? Good timing or bad timing? Is it good timing because you could now have time to play around with it and you wanted to, or bad timing because you wanted to play around with it and now you're going to be gone? I guess it really depends, I think, on what you're doing for your vacation. I need to understand this gather node, because this is taking concrete data, but it's outputting only... It's outputting, well, I guess both of these are concrete data, but they're just different types. Landscape versus surface, but it's only outputting surface here. So it's converting, I guess. I need to understand this node better. Oh, so you're leaving, you won't be able to? Okay. Vacation is for eating snacks in bed and watching trashy TV like Bravo. I mean, I feel like you could just do that on the weekend. To be fair, when I take vacations, I also don't go anywhere. Right? My vacation is just wake up whenever the hell I want, and then like play some games, watch some anime, and just relax. Not go anywhere. That's crazy. I would never go somewhere. But the color node's great. I love the color. Imagine touching grass. Touching grass, no. Looking at grass is already difficult. Touching grass now? Jesus. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's interesting they're using projection versus World Raycast. I wonder what the difference is. I guess it projects onto the target. and you can project it onto a I guess a surface. But this, you could specify how you want it to project. It's one I haven't fully understood the difference really between world raycast and just the projection node, but that's its own separate thing. Ooh, this one, hold on, this one's set to spawn attribute class. Okay, so it just does that. No merging, and then where do we add all the variables? Where's the match and set? Here. Yep. So that gets added, match and set, match the weight, and then here it is each the class and the weight. The only thing is, oh, I guess I won't be able to see it with the information. Oh, it will go off of the name of the here, so it goes off class. So that's why it's set to class. Right here, that makes sense. Here's static mesh because that's what it's called. In here, static mesh. Okay, yeah, all checks out, all makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I'll be making a tutorial on all my findings on Sunday. For sure. All my findings on Sunday. It won't be like, here's how you use and create all of this. But it'll be like, okay, here's everything I found to get started with it. And then probably the week after, then we can start like going more in depth. I'll still go over like pretty much everything I figured out today during the stream. And maybe a little more. We'll see. We will see. Because the projection stuff is nice. A lot of this is nice. This tool alone is awesome. Or rather, this tool alone is awesome. Yeah. Very happy with it. Minus a few little things. You're going to change your mindset on a thing. Ooh, what is this thing? Why are you changing it? What's wrong with it? Are you going to realize that I'm not as smart as I am finally? Or, see, I didn't even say that right. See how dumb I am? I didn't even say that right. It's not as smart as you think I am. Not. I'm dumb. Nice to meet you. But yeah, there's a video coming Sunday. Who do you think you are? I am. Instead of having a generic ability damage percentage, you're going to use ability effectiveness to be used as a general stat for things like range, max targets, or things that are non-damage in an ability. Hey, whatever works for you. If that's the way you want to do it, do it. I feel like you probably just already have like resistances to specific things, but you could do a global one. That effectively would be that, yeah. Sounds good to me. You'll have a lot to catch up on after you're back. You won't. You won't. 5.7, like this stuff, the stuff we went over right now on stream is awesome, but it's like one little thing and it'll take one video to really go over it, and then after that you just use it. So there's not that much in 5.7 that was added. There's a few, but half of the things require coding. Sad noise.
if you have like by default this ability spawn 3 minions, if you had 100% effectiveness, it would be 6. Why would it be 100% would double it? Wouldn't it be 3 minions if it's 100%? And 66% would be 2, 33 would be 1. Because then it would be 200% effectiveness, no? And really is making the case for not getting Houdini. Coding bit is what you're looking forward to? Well, you enjoy that. Oh, that was an additional effectiveness, not just current effectiveness. I see. Anyway. I get it. I get it. Mesh proxy is something really worth looking into, especially if you want a lot of actors in your scene. Perhaps I'll look into it if I remember it after you're back from vacation. Just remind me. Yeah, tomorrow we'll go back to game dev probably. That's my guess. Because I don't think there's more stuff for me to check out, but I'll double check. If there is, we'll check out a little more stuff tomorrow. Otherwise, back to game dev. So, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Hope you had fun. Thank you to an insane amount of YouTube viewers that came here for this, I will say. I think that's a record for me in the amount of YouTube viewers. So, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.